Emmanuel Macron admitted that Brexit could trigger a domino effect whereby more countries start to hold referendums and leave the EU. The French president has so far played hardball in Brexit negotiations, insisting that offering the UK a good deal would set a dangerous precedent. However, he has also been accused of trying to make things difficult for the UK simply to deter other countries from wanting to leave. Back in June 2016, just a few days before the crunch vote that saw the UK make its historic decision to leave the bloc, Mr Macron issued a warning to the rest of the EU. He was France's economy minister at the time and was concerned that a vote to leave could splinter the EU for good, branding it a «contagion». He told Time, "You can suddenly have a series of countries waking up and saying, 'I want the same status as the Brits,' which will be de facto the dismantling of the rest of Europe. We should not replicate the situation where one country is in a situation to hijack the rest of Europe, because they organize a referendum." His words reflected the growing anxiety and fatigue on the continent after an unpredictable referendum campaign in Britain. At the time, the referendum was high up on the French news agenda, with pundits worrying whether Frexit could be next. Similar debates happen in France around issues with the EU, and increasingly Euroscepticism was on the agenda. This was demonstrated by Marine Le Pen of the right-wing populist National Front Party, now National Rally, coming second to Mr Macron in the 2017 presidential election, winning 33.9% of the vote in the second round. Ms. Le Pen's party has also had roaring success in local elections, although struggled to make much headway in the National Assembly. Part of the National Rally's appeal is its hardline anti-EU stance, a stark contrast to Mr Macron's Europhile en marche. In his interview with Time, Mr Macron insisted that even in the event of a Remain vote, the very fact the referendum took place was a threat to the integrity of the EU in itself. He said, "Even if the Brits decide to remain, we will have to avoid a contagion on other countries." The future French president urged EU leaders to act to make sure the British referendum was the only one.